Yeah, I guess just first off, we got under a week left to go before the primary. How are you feeling? How's these last 6 days going to be?
Well, the last 6 days are going to be ultra busy, as you can imagine, Eric. 10, 11, 12 interviews, stops, interactions a day, and I'm loving it. Again, getting out and touching the people of Michigan and sharing a vision that resonates with them is what it's all about. And I'm happy to say that our message has stayed consistent since we started. We're going to lower taxes, we're going to shrink regulations, we're going to fix our public education and make it the envy of all the other states. We're going to create fair, safe, honest communities and in elections that everyone can have confidence in. All common sense things that benefit everybody in Michigan.
And now the recent polls have shown it's nearly a dead heat for all four of you. Only a few points separate everyone, and there's so many undecided voters. I mean, how are you feeling? How does that change the race or set it up when there's so much up for grabs?
Well, the only poll that really matters is the one that we're all going to be exposed to on August 3rd, for starters. But really, doing the job of governor, I'm the only qualified candidate because it's running the business of the state of Michigan. And that means running a business that's roughly $77 billion, that's got 48,000 employees and 660 departments. On the scale and the scope, I'm the only candidate. And they're all good people, but I'm the only candidate that's run private businesses and grown them to the largest in Michigan and some of the largest in the country and the world. I've done it in public businesses as well, in automotive and healthcare. And what's really important for the people to know is I've worked in Lansing for the betterment of our employees and our customers for 30 years. I understand how Lansing works. I'm not a newbie to it. That's why I know I can make such a significant difference, and that's how I'm different.
And speaking of different, you're the only self-funded candidate left. You tout that as you're not bought and paid for by people, but then your opponents will point to you're trying to buy this election. Kind of, how has it been kind of balancing between those two different perspectives?
Well, I think one of the candidates, and the only candidate that has had to rely on a super PAC to even be participating, is disingenuous. The other folks, hey, look, we've raised, with people just going onto our website and making donations, more money than the other candidates have raised in the same period of time, since November to now. And my message resonates. My skill set resonates with the people. And we're facing some really serious issues, Eric, and we can't afford to have somebody learning on the job or trying to do the right thing. You have to have exposure and access to qualified people who are willing to come to Lansing. I do. You have to be able to raise funds. And when we proceed forward on August 3rd, we've got national donors that are lined up with millions of dollars that will come in and help the Republican Party in Michigan elect Kevin Rinke, and we're going to make Michigan great again.
And now in this race, there's four different candidates that are really out front, four different backgrounds. No one's really a politician. They all have different backers. They all have different strategies. After the primary, how can people be confident you could unite all these groups? Because if the Republican Party is not united, they ain't going to beat Gretchen Whitmer.
Well, my whole business career has been uniting people. We wouldn't have had the success that we had with our employees. Every category, we had the lowest turnover when measured against our competitors. Our clients, we had the highest repeat business of all of our competitors. I know how to do this. I have a vision for Michigan that doesn't just support Republicans, it supports all the people of Michigan. See, I actually believe that we agree on 80 or 90% of what government should provide for the people. And I'm going to address those issues and move everybody forward. Again, the proper tax climate. I'm the only one that came up with a proposal regarding taxes while the other Republicans wanted to study it. A proper regulatory climate. I'm the only one that knows how to eliminate those regulations that benefit and support the people who have stayed in Michigan. Our educational plan takes our state and brings it to literacy for our children. And we provide exceptional, skilled labor opportunities that have been eliminated previously by past administrations. And then you know what? We're not going to defund our first responders. We're going to support them and apply more money to make our neighborhoods safer. See, if we want a successful state and we want to attract people and businesses, we have to have the proper tax climate, the proper regulatory climate. We have to have educated children that can contribute and get jobs in those businesses. We have to have safe neighborhoods and solid communities. And that's what we're going to bring back to Michigan. Spirit, pride, making Michigan great again.
And now you kind of touched on some things right there, but you're the CEO candidate, you're the one with the experience, the business. What are some of the issues facing Michigan on the business side? Why are we falling short? We're just seeing reports now that this Ford deal, they're finding a loophole to dump salary jobs, but they're still going to get their $100 million. Where are we falling short in these businesses?
We don't have people with experience. We have people who are trying to do the job. I don't believe in trying, I believe in doing. It's not my first rodeo. And $100 million of the people's money was wasted, and it shows what a lack of experience and a lack of a quality team can fall into. We've seen it multiple times with the governor who is using the people's money to try and make herself look good. We see her all of a sudden trying to separate herself from Joe Biden when we know that her actions and policies have mirrored Washington and have crushed not only our country, but have crushed our state. You know, Gretchen Whitmer doesn't brag about the fact that we still are 127,000 jobs short of getting back to zero pre-COVID. She twists and she spins, and I think the people of Michigan need honest, transparent information and integrity, not a politician that's looking to move on to another job. I want to be the governor of Michigan. I want to serve the people of Michigan, and then I'm done.
Now I got two more questions. Being the highest funded candidate out there right now, you've been on TV a lot more, and recently seems like your ads are more directed at Miss Dixon. Do you see her as your main competition with a week to go?
I think that I was willing to point out the hypocrisy of Miss Dixon. In everything I said, they weren't attack ads, they were truth ads. We talked about having an establishment billionaire with their political machine be the primary source of funding. And as soon as they had to report, you know what it showed? I was right. I'm different, Eric. I don't use talking points. I use things that I'm actually gonna do and deliver on. This is not about position or power for me, and it appears that the two of us are in a close race. The people need to know I'm not a version of Gretchen Whitmer. She is. I'm a conservative business outsider who has the experience and the skill set to deliver on what I say, and who's willing to do the right thing for our families, for our children, for our state, versus the politically correct thing. In coming into this fight with Gretchen Whitmer, I'm the only one that can hold her accountable on the issues, because I'm not afraid to go toe-to-toe with her, and I have the resources to do it.
And then finally, I mean, you said that she's the version of Gretchen Whitmer. A lot of people see you as the business outsider as the next Rick Snyder. Do you see that as a good comparison? Where does that differ?
Well, I think my policies are closer to Donald Trump's, okay? And if you want those types of policies to make Michigan great again, then I'm your guy, okay? I've got a Midwestern way of delivering my message. He had a New York way of delivering his message. And I loved his policies. The people of Michigan loved his policies and benefited from those. Rick Snyder did a good job. He did a masterful job in working us through the Detroit bankruptcy, helping the state recover from the disastrous effects of Jennifer Granholm in balancing our budget. He got caught up in some politics in his second term that I don't believe should have continued, but that's what political witch hunts are about. And when you can't focus on your poor results, you go after people's character and their integrity. And that's what the Democrats are doing. A businessman with experience is what we need, and I'm that guy.